Are we on? Is this thing on? Hello? Hello, are you? Anton?
Hello?
Anton?
Hi? Hi.
Hello, and welcome, denizens of the multiverse, to Talking is a Free Action. Don't adjust your streams. We'll be beginning shortly. There we go. Lights are on. Hello, Anton. Welcome. You are joining us here. I represent the Question Masters, and you have joined us to enter my Packed Palace.
Packed Palace. Do I have to make a pact with you, or is it?
It's encouraged. I mean, why not? I've made so many, and look how it's done me fine. Just fine.
I'd rather not, if that's all right with you.
Well, I don't think it's really up to you, but we'll come to that later. Now, you've been kidnapped from the mortal realm, right in the midst of what you were just doing, but don't worry, you'll be returned in about an hour or so, and you'll have no memory of this place, or maybe touches, inklings. It's up to you, really. It's your choice of how you handle yourself.
Okay.
You're here now, and you will be going through challenges. And they're great, they're good, they're fun. Silly sometimes, but good. Or, as always, talking is a free action. I believe that you have a higher being connected to you. One called Naail?
Oh, I don't know about that. I thought you were talking about Rein. This Naail thing's all news to me, I'll be completely honest.
Well, if you feel like you're trapped and talking is a free action, I can call upon Naail, and Naail will be able to answer questions directly. How does that sound?
Sounds completely, not really scary, but okay.
I mean, you're handling this rather well. Most people are a little more, pants-shittingly terrified.
Well, I've had a lot of weird things happen to me throughout my life, so this is just like another on the list.
I'm no scarier than other things you've done in your life.
Well,
I'm what, chop liver? Like,
it's not that you're not scary. It's just equally as confusing.
No, if that's what you want. If you want more scary, I can do more scary. If that's what you require,
not
fine.
At all. I would
fine. No.
To be pleasant.
No. I heard you.
How's this? Is that better? Is it?
No. I prefer it if it was back to the first place. Actually, you were very plenty scary before, and I have wet myself. Is that what you want to hear?
Yes. Good. Well then, would you like a first challenge room?
Well, I suppose I don't have much of a choice about this. Do I?
No. Well, yes, but no. Consent is important. Anyway.
Oh, thank you. Strange embodiment.
Before we get started, I am the Warlock, in case you hadn't noticed, and I'm talking to Anton, and we are generously sponsored by entities known as Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Phoenix Dice, Alchemy RPG, and supported by Idle Champions, Warriors of Waterdeep, Neverwinter, Elderwood Academy, and D&D Beyond. And thank you, D20 Club. It's because of you that I get to do this.
Never forget.
Good. Anton, my darling, my sweet, my wonderful, do you have a D100?
I certainly can get one.
It's all right, I've got one somewhere. Let me dig through my table of wonders in front of me.
Sorry, I'm rolling.
Oh, good. Then never mind. I prefer if they roll themselves.
80.
80. Anton.
Okay.
In front of you is a door.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very normal door. Some might say mundane. Would you like to open the door?
Okay, I'll open the door.
As you step inside, you appear to be in some kind of forest glen. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to look around. Is there anything around? Is the door still here?
You turn around, the door is gone.
Oh, well, I've made a mistake. I realise that now. Do I still have access to my magical capabilities?
Yes, of course you do.
All right, then. Well, let's see what I prepared today.
You are a master of the arcane arts, aren't you?
Well, I hope so. I try my hardest. Hey. All right, I'm going to walk through this glen, see what I can see, see what I can find.
The ground rises beneath you. You are trapped in a net. And standing around you are a bunch of teddy bears holding spears, poking you, saying things like, Houtini! What would you like to do? What would you like to do?
I guess I'll misty step out of the if I can do that. I'm not prepared misty step.
Have you not? Well, then you can't.
No, I can dimension door though. Why not? In fact, no, wait, I've got a better one. Rather than dimension door, I've got that other one where you move and you keep teleporting as long as you like.
Oh,
fast step.
Yes. Are you fast stepping out of the net?
I'll fast step out of the net and I'll say, please stop.
As you fast step out of the net and reappear, all of the teddy bears look confused and start chasing after you, waving their spears, shouting, Houtini!
I will run towards them, and as I get close enough, I'll teleport completely away from them.
But the forest is full of teddy bears with spears. They're everywhere.
No.
And everywhere you appear, there are just more of them, looking more and more confused and upset. Some start prodding you with their spears. They're very blunt spears. It would take a lot of effort for them to hurt you. They're just sort of there going,
I guess I'll ask them to stop, please. Please stop poking me.
They appear not to speak common.
All right. Well, I can't. Have I got I think, oh my gosh, there's so many spells. This is the problem with being a wizard. It's going through your spell book. It's just trying to find different things you can do. Oh, Lord.
I say I understand, but I really don't. My spell choice is A, very limited, and B, I can only do a certain number before I need a nap. It's very important.
That's understandable. That's understandable. I guess I'll just have to try to reason with them with my intellect.
Oh, well, you are famously quite intellectual, are you not, Anton?
I hope so. I certainly hope so. I could. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and speak. Oh, what? I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Have you got some kind of spell to speak other people's languages?
I do. It's just I think I'd have to use my ball. And I don't really want to talk to Rein right now.
Tell us about your ball.
Oh, well...
Out of context, that sounds very weird.
It did a little bit, but I tried to skip over it. It was... I'll tell you what I could do. Well, right. I'll tell you about the ball first. The ball was gifted, taken more precisely, from another East city. Turned out to be the crystal bowl of an evil counterpart of mine. Evil's probably the best word to phrase them.
Counterpart?
A clone.
I thought you were the clone.
Look, it really doesn't make any sense the more you think into it, so I recommend not thinking into it, just because, so essentially, when they died, they would re-mummify in one of my bodies, which was a clone body. So at which point, when did they stop becoming a clone? Or when did they stop being Rein, and when did they become a clone? When they took the new clone body? Do you know what I mean?
When is a clone not a clone? Exactly.
It's a very hard question. So I've just decided that everyone's a clone, so we won't really worry about the original.
Everyone is in all of the various Antons, or no, every single person you ever meet is probably a clone?
No, everyone I probably meet is probably fine. It's just probably me that's a clone. But right. I'll tell you what I can do. I can read any language using my third eye. So what I might do is start to write down.
Now, that's a third eye as in a magical third eye, not a Doctor Strange third eye. I like that.
Yeah, it's a magical one. It's not as creepy as whatever you just referenced. For I do not know that plate.
Yes. You do not know that plate.
Yeah, I'll start drawing in the dirt and seeing if they can read it, and then seeing if they write things down. I'll draw.
Write in the dirt.
I'll draw a picture of me, and I'll write Anton, and then I'll draw a picture of the teddy bear and write, what are they saying to me? Wachinga? I'll try to write that down. See if they do anything.
One of the teddy... I'm not DMing. One of the teddy bears comes up and strokes the ground where you put on Chunga and writes a word you understand to mean teddy bear.
Oh, excellent. I write down Anton and then point an arrow to myself, and then I point an arrow to the teddy bear with their name, teddy bear.
They rub out your name and write the word God down.
Shrug. And say...
All of them start kneeling in front of you and start doing little bowing motions and make the noise from the play I'm referencing. Oh. Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna try to beckon them all up and write. I'm gonna try and draw myself and then draw like another door.
Oh. The teddy bear writes the word door underneath your door.
I say yes. Question mark. Where is it?
Rubs out the question mark. It's definitely a door.
I point at the door and then point to my eyes and then point outwards.
Oh, then they will take you to the door.
Excellent. Oh, we got there eventually.
As you depart, one of them gestures you over, rubs in the sand and mud, makes a little space, and writes gift down with a question mark.
I'll nod and hold my hands out.
Looks in your hands for a gift, can't find one. Confused.
I guess. Wait, I'll. I think this is rather.
Whatever you give them will probably become some kind of holy relic, I'm just saying.
Well, I know, I realise that, but it'll disappear in an hour.
They'll all disappear in less than an hour. None of this is real. I'm not real. Maybe I am.
In that case, I'll prestidigitate a coin from behind their ear. Hand it to them.
They look amazed. They love it. They think it's so sweet, so kind. They hold the coin up. They try and eat it. It does not taste good.
No, it doesn't. It's a coin.
They try and cut something with it. It is terrible at that. They have no value for coins. They have no currency.
I guess I'll prestidigitate a chain around it and I'll hang it on their head so they can wear it as a necklace.
They look extremely pleased. The other teddy bears look jealous.
I can't do that forever.
Do you head to the door?
I'll head to the door.
Yes, good.
Teddy bear nightmare.
A challenge room succeeded, and maybe that teddy bear's already being murdered by his friends. Who can say?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, don't make me question the validity of their existence. And
they all want the god coin. You gave them the god coin, and now there are god coin wars. Congratulations.
Well, when it disappears, they'll learn that the value was in their friendship, not in the god coin.
I can tell you for free that what they learned was that all glory is fleeting, and instead they now try and make their own god coins and have wars about who gets the best god coin because you introduced capitalism to the Teddy Bear Society. You're welcome.
I've made a huge mistake.
The world is shit, and you joined in. Good. Right. There's another door. Do you want to go through it?
Yes. I guess I'll go through the door.
Good. Roll me that D100 again.
Okay. Hopefully it's not no more teddy bears. Alright. That's
It's the teddy
50.
bears. 1,000 years into the future. Just 4 of them wearing bionic sleeves saying, "What did you do?" Good. 15, you say.
Another god coin.
My friends are all dead. Good. You walk through this door. In front of you, you see a young, fresh-faced boy. It's you.
Oh, no.
From the past.
Oh, God.
It's you at level 1.
All right.
He looks at you expectantly and says, hello? I don't know what this is, but I'm Anton. You look like old me.
I'm not that old.
No, but like older, you know? Like,
Aye.
I can't grow a beard, and look at that. That's...
Yeah, it's just from not shaving. It's alright. You'll get one in the next year. If you actually try to grow it out now, it'll come out a bit patchy, but you'll be fine.
Okay.
How are you?
Fine.
Have you met Leslie yet, or is this before Leslie or after Leslie?
Who's Leslie?
All right, good. Leslie's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take you away from aunts and uncles.
Oh, I'm still there right now. At least I think I am.
No, we're somewhere else. Apparently there's some Warlock thing watching us.
What's a Warlock?
You know how you found the diary outside and that's how you started learning magic?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a bit like that. This is a Warlock, someone who, instead of going through study, actually goes to like a higher power and then makes deals with that higher power to get more magic.
A gigantic head leans in behind you. You should try it. It's good fun. Do you want tea and biscuits?
No.
I'll give you tea and biscuits, and a table and some cups of tea and some plate of biscuits will land in between the two of you. You're welcome. Fade away into the background. That person seems weird.
And tea and biscuits is how they get you. Just yeah.
So we shouldn't have the tea and biscuits.
Honestly, we probably shouldn't do anything. Should probably just stay with aunt and uncle and avoid everything.
But I want to use what I've learned. I want to go out and do stuff. I'm excited.
I don't know the temporal setbacks of potentially telling you everything that's going to happen in your life before you experience it, but I was also reassured that I won't remember any of this when I get back, so I'm going to have to tell you, don't stay at aunt and uncle's. The memories that we have are false, and the things that we see in the future are programmed into our brain by a version of us that lived a very long time ago.
What?
Aye.
Our memories aren't real?
Our memories are real. It's just the visions we see. They're programmed into us by a being called Rein. He's a mummy.
Okay.
And we're their clone. But we're allowed to have our own sovereignty in a way.
You saying I'm a clone?
Aye.
Okay. So I should just stay here.
It's probably for the best. Just enjoy your life rather than trying to, I don't know, be someone. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. And tell Leslie hi when you see him. But don't go with him.
Okay, I will.
I give little Anton a big hug.
Little Anton accepts your hug and fades into sort of incorporeal mist as you hug him and vanishes, and the Warlock's just standing behind. I got very real, didn't I?
Well, that kid's about to watch one of the only friends he has die. he's going to get attacked by hellhounds and then potentially nearly enslaved by fire giants. So, first adventures and all that.
Do you not think that you've gained something by living the life that you've lived? Was it not worth it?
Don't know. Doesn't really feel like my life at the moment. Feels like someone else's. I know a lot of people say they don't choose to be born, but I guess being made is meant to give you some sort of purpose. When you live your whole young life looking for your purpose and thinking that it's going to help people and you're going to be helpful and kind, and then you find out that the reason you were made was not to do that, but actually to fulfill someone else's desires of immortality, it can be a little bit confusing.
I feel that. A lot of my dealings, I look back on and go, was that an error? And then I think I can't change it anyway. It is what it is now. Could have had a normal life, been a chef. That's what I wanted originally. Made some food for people. Would have been nice. But now I exist in a liminal space and have markings on my face.
Well, they're nice markings if that makes you feel any better.
Oh, thank you. They do.
Very scary.
There's another door if you want to continue.
All right. Is this like a test? Is this what this is? As I like to walk out with the door.
Test for what?
I don't know. Like, is this like a soul thing?
Could be. I honestly don't know. I'm just told to turn up and do this.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
By who?
There's 4 of us. We get, called upon.
All right.
One of them.
I rolled an 82, just to let you know.
One of them is very pathetic. It's sad. Right.
Oh, okay.
There's another door in front of you. This one looks a bit more modern. It's got like a sort of like tank vibe to it.
I guess I turned the door open.
In front of you is a table in a big blue room. On the table are 3 jugs.
Is this a test?
Maybe. The first jug. I have to work out how this works. There we go. You have an 8-liter jug full of water and 2 smaller jugs. One that could contain 5 and one that could contain 3. None of the jugs have any markings on them. No additional measuring devices. You have to divide the 8 liters of water equally between your 2 best friends, so that each gets 4 liters of water. How do you do this? Don't forget, you're not Naail, you're Anton.
Yeah, I was going to say, but this is actually... This is easier than I think, though, isn't it?
Go on. Tell me what you do. The countdown music is playing, by the way.
Got 2 and 3. So I want to pour 5 into the 5.
It's full. There's 3 in the 8 and nothing in the 3.
Wait, there's 3. There's 3 in the 8.
Yep.
The 5 is now full.
Yes.
And the 3 is waiting, right?
Yes.
So what I want to do is pour 3 from the 5 into the 3.
Right. So the 3 has 3 in it, the 5 has 2 in it, and the 8 has 3 in it.
Right. I've done this wrong.
Don't forget talking's a free action.
Oh god, I think I might just take it. Target's clear. Actually. I'm sure Anton will be able to figure that out, but now it's too tired at the moment. That is easier than I'm making it, though.
It's surprisingly not. Hang on, what have I done? No!
Because you've got 8 in one and nothing in the other. So maybe I should have gone 8, 3, and then I'd have had 4. Then I'd have had 5 in the... Oh, God.
I will tell you, it takes multiple steps. It takes multiple steps, and it can be infuriating. So, no need if you don't need to. Let's do a question instead. That'll be fun. Okay, you want to pour out the 8 into the 3, so you've got 5 left.
Yeah.
No, you pour 8 into the 5, then 5 into the 3. You were on the right track, and then you pour the two twos together, make 4, and then you pour 1 out, and then you've got 2 4s.
Right, and then you pour.
Yeah, because you pour 1 into the 1. Well, you pour 1 into the you put the 2 2s, so you've got 4 in 1. There's 3 in 1, and then you pour the 1 back in. Done.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, question. It's a D100 again. Do you want to roll a D100, Naail?
I can indeed.
And let's have a fun question. That bit 30. With Anton telling his younger self to not come back. Jesus.
He would. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's true. We actually,
this character.
A little fun fact about Anton is that he was like a level 1 character when I first played it.
Yeah.
And those things actually happened. He was like with a guy called Leslie, who was like a merchant caravan guy thief, played by Mike Dobson. Yeah. And I know our first adventure, he died in like the second session.
This is when we got shot off a cliff.
No, that's a joke. In this one, he ran up some. We were fighting bandits in a town, like big bandit invasion. Almost like an army of mercenaries came in.
Sure.
Started taking over this town, and we tried to stop him. And he went upstairs by himself and opened the door, and there was 2 bandits, both with crossbows, and they shot him, and he fell off. He fell off the top level and died.
Jeez.
And then that was like Anton's like only sort of real friend throughout the years.
It is interesting because you played Anton as a level 1 character in a home game, and then as a level, what was it when we started Sea of Swords? 10? And we had a sort of like set of like he'd done some stuff in between, so he's done sort of a full life with you as a player, which is really interesting.
We actually ended that little start of a campaign with him going to school.
Which is like Brotherhood, yeah.
Yeah, and it really fit in well.
What did you roll?
31.
31. Oh, there we go. What's something about your non-D&D life that might surprise us?
I don't know. My non-D&D life. Most of my life isn't not D&D. Don't know. I guess people know I'm an actor, but I also do directing. I teach as well. I don't know if that's surprising.
I'd say it's interesting. Is it surprising? No, what's something that's surprising?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's really surprising. I don't think of myself as a surprising person. I feel like I'm very basic now that I'm thinking about it. I'm like, everything about me is kind of on my sleeve a little bit. I love movies. I love D&D. I love, going for walks and stuff. I love talking to friends. I feel like none of that is surprising.
Is there a hobby that we've missed out? Is there something that's like a little thing that you do that no one really knows about?
Again, like I'm a bit basic. I read, I write, I've thought of something. Video games.
I've thought of something that you do that people don't necessarily know, which is that you're a really, really good artist.
Oh, thank you.
Have you got any on you? Have you got anything in front of you you can show?
I might actually. Yeah. I do, but I guess that's D&D related for me because I draw all my D&D characters.
I mean, to a certain extent, yes, but also just the art's just good. You're a very good artist.
Thank you. I'm trying to find a picture that's not D&D at the moment. I've drawn a lot of D&D. This is just Anton.
Just make it D&D, show D&D one, doesn't matter.
Just drawings of Anton.
I just draw my own character over and over and over.
That was like a little sketch of Anton that I did.
We shared that one. That one's on Twitter as well, yeah.
And it was just one of those like, just trying to figure out what he looked like. And that's like a young version. I think I drew that when we were doing Sea of Swords, actually. Yeah,
I remember that one. The one you just showed, that one, that's the one that G used to base the art. I think he sketched it. So it's got...
I think that one was this one, actually. I didn't manage to finish the colouring. And my phone's playing up because apparently I've got low disk space, but there's like a little coloured. I started colouring.
That's the one we based the mini on. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Trying to see if I can find anything a bit more. I should probably go on the old gram, actually. The old
on the old gram. On the gram.
I'm a gram dad. Oh, here's a cool sketch.
Mm-hmm.
I was at work and I was thinking about Superman.
Sure.
And how we don't have a good film.
No.
Really, yeah. And we haven't really had like Superman in his purest form. But that was the little sketch I did.
It's nice. It's really good.
And I'll read you what I wrote. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to justify why nobody knows that he's Clark Kent.
Sure.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
And I said, I thought this would be a nice line for Superman to say would be, I think the reason no one recognized me as Clark Kent is because people don't really believe they could be Superman. Clark is just like them. Nothing about them is super. So how could Clark be any different? It's frustrating to me because you're all Superman. And I was like, that's something Superman would say.
Yeah. I mean, the definitive Superman that is a comic, and it's All-Star. It's Grant Morrison's run, because it's a Superman who is...
dying.
Dying is what makes it work, because it means he's not infallible anymore. But it's that his threat level, what he deals with, is ridiculous. And because Grant Morrison has no issues with ridiculous, he likes to create ridiculous things. The villains are ridiculous. It's the whole point. Yeah. So it's not so much I must go and fight a creature and the world is there being scared and surprised. It's the humdrum mundanity of a day in a god's body.
Yeah.
Like there's a bit of it where he gives Lois a serum that means she can be Superwoman for a day. Yeah. Just so that he can show her all the things he couldn't show her when he was still pretending to be Clark and wants to show her that life. He does it, they do all these wonderful things together, and then Hercules and Samson turn up, who are time-traveling strongmen, who say, we want to date Lois. You have no idea how hard it is to find a Superwoman who we actually want to date. So he goes on an arm wrestle with both of them. So they do like competitions. Both in an arm wrestle that cracks a mountain in half, and it's just like wonderful, quirky, absurd, delightful little weird moments like that just
and then
the
like
character makes sense.
With that, there's a bit I can't remember where in the comic book it is, but it's all that like he's dealing with all these super worldly things, and then there's this young girl on the top of a building about to kill herself, and he just appears and just says, I'm here to let you know that everything's okay. And it's like, there you go.
That's what he says. That's what he says. No, he says something amazing. What does he say? Oh, I'm going to find it.
Dude,
we're off the rails. I don't care.
No, but this is my surprising fact, I guess.
It's so good. Because it's just full of amazing stuff, that entire thing.
And how Lex refuses to believe that he's Clark Kent as well, kind of thing.
Oh, well, there's that whole...
with him. He's with him in the prison.
There's that whole bit, which again is it's a bit of a spoiler for the comic, but it's so good. Clark goes to visit Lex Luthor in prison to do an interview, and the prison is a supermax for supervillains, and it's got one of the heroes that absorbs power from powerful creatures.
Parasite.
That's it. And because Clark's in there, Superman's in there, and Parasite's also doing Superman's power, and so Superman has to pretend to be Clark Kent while still being Superman, getting Lex through a supermax that's currently under attack by a monster. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful. And the whole way through, Lex doesn't give a shit. It's just rambling about the meaning of why Superman is always going to be his adversary and why it has to end.
And he's the world's smartest man, and he can't see that he's right in front of him.
There's one point in it where he gets one of his eyebrows burned off by something that happens, and Lex draws on the curled Superman eyebrow, the classic, and goes, "This has a name. This is a real thing, and you've got them, Clark." And it shows people want that to believe that eyebrows look like that, and it's like, it's right there, Lex. It's right fucking there.
So good, so good.
What does he say to her? I can't remember what he says to her.
Do not find the page.
No, I found the quote where he's talking to his dad again. They give him a chance to talk to Jor-El, which, there we go. Got it.
You got it.
There we go. You see intercut between various panels of the comic, him like saving the bottled city of and dealing with like I think he fights off a mutagenic virus inside someone's body. All these crazy little shots, and they're single panels. And in between is just a young woman standing on the roof of the building, clearly about to jump. And in the final shot of it, he appears behind her and says, "Your doctor really did get held up, Regan. It's never as bad as it seems. You're much stronger than you think you are. Trust me." That's great. That's Superman in a nutshell.
Taking the time to save someone. Yeah. We should all be a little bit more like Superman.
Grant Morrison very specifically wrote that, or he wrote that line to sound like Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, well, it works.
It's even better.
It works.
Even better. I really love Superman. I really love Superman. I think it's a great idea for a character because it's not... It's ridiculous. It is a ridiculous character. Like film writers always say, what do you put up against Superman? Something that he can't punch or fly away.
He's not there. People don't understand that, like, you don't need to punch everything. He's not there to punch everything. Superman is, in all intents and purposes, the man we should always be. He's an alien from outer space that came to Earth, but he's human. He's lived his life, like, I guess kind of like, I get it, because I'm not all British, but I live in England, you know what I mean? And it's like, so I'm part of this, I'm an alien kind of to this society, but God, I want to be part of it, God, I want to help it, and I want it to be something amazing. And that's what Superman is. He's the person that has no ties to this world, but was born and raised here, and thus is the most human out of all of us. Because he actively chooses to be. He's a god. He's a literal god, but he wants to be human, and he wants to share that with everyone. And he's the ultimate ideal of who to be. I think there's a really... I can't remember. I love comic books. And there's a really good line that Batman says to Superman at some point. Or he says to someone about Superman, he says something like, "I don't hate Clark." I don't hate Superman. I don't hate Superman.
I don't hate Clark. It's Batman.
In fact, I wish I was him.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like, that's why I like working by myself and stuff like that, because it reminds me that I could always be better.
Well, because they're both orphans. They're both orphans with incredibly similar backgrounds in many, many ways, apart from the obvious one. The one has superpowers and one doesn't.
Batman's certainly made some really bad choices, like introducing children to crime fighting, just basic shit.
Has Batman made mistakes? I'm just going to say the words Jason Todd and leave it there.
Yeah. But and then you look at Superman, he's the person that doesn't make a mistake, and he's the person that always makes the right choice, regardless of how hard it is, or regardless of
how much it will affect him. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when Superman's written correctly, and that's when Superman's written right. But saying that, the Justice League series with what was his name, Tim? But like he did the Batman animated series, he did the Justice League animated series, and they're doing the Harley Quinn series at the moment.
No,
is it Tim Kane?
No, it's not. I don't know.
But he Tim Bruce. It's Tim Bruce.
It's definitely not Tim Bruce.
Okay. It's either Bruce Tim or it's Tim Bruce.
It's Bruce Tim. It's Bruce Tim. We go. It's Bruce Tim. We got there.
Because it is Bruce Tim. And Bruce Tim was part of. He does the Harley Quinn stuff. He's done the Batman stuff, and he did the Superman stuff, and he did the Justice League stuff. And in those Justice League cartoons, Superman was genuinely a little bit fallible. He wasn't always right, and he wasn't always correct, and they wrote him perfectly. But again, that's a good example of writing Superman being a normal person rather than just getting it right all the time. But I also think that Superman is the guy who gets it right all the time. I think that's what's beautiful about him.
I've got another quote here from Grant Morrison, because have you read Super Gods? You must have done.
No, I don't think I have.
It's Grant's book about superheroes, which is really good because they know their onions. Here we go. Grant's views on Superman. If you ask them, they'll say they didn't do anything. They're just the writer. Superman's an idea that's much bigger and older than them. Just because he's a character printed on paper and written this time by Grant doesn't make him not real. Superman saved people's real lives and will always be there to do so again.
That's Superman for you. Batman's cool, but Superman's the guy you should be.
Superman. You know what? Man of Steel not Man of Steel. What's the one with the first one with bright blue eyes British boy? What's he called?
Bright blue eyes British boy.
You know the
Henry
new Superman.
Cavill.
Thank you.
No, you're right. It's Man of Steel.
Yeah, it's Man of Steel. Up until the point where he and Zod have a fight that kills millions of people because fuck it, I kind of bought that film and I bought the characterization and I thought it worked quite well because I want to kill you but I can't is a really nice Superman problem.
I thought I really liked the setup, and I really liked what they did with Superman, which was, this is the first time he's been Superman, and he's making mistakes, and things are going terrible, and he's had to kill someone, and he's not happy about it. And I was like, this is great. The problem is that they didn't really pick up on that in later films. And Dawn of Justice, Batman vs Superman could have been a really good film where Superman was becoming Superman and Batman was hating him for it.
I know it sounds really specific, but it was the point when he snapped Zod's neck and in doing so lasered like a whole room full of people and like a building collapse and all that nonsense. I went, you've lost me. Showing him as a fallible Superman, fine. Showing him destroying a city, it doesn't really make sense. It doesn't fit the character's ideals, and it doesn't fit the setup of what the character could be, which is the whole point. And then using that moment to go, this is where Bruce Wayne became a showing Ben Affleck running full bore into a cloud of dust and that stuff.
So good. Best part of that movie is the first 5 minutes.
But that's the thing. They went, in my mind, it's you created a moment that is incorrect, that doesn't suit the character, where I think you fundamentally misread the character from my perspective.
Yeah.
And then you've used that moment to introduce another character who you've also pretty much misread from my perspective. And then it just becomes
Batman not killing people?
awful.
What are you talking about?
Batman not killing people.
Batman
using a gun.
Best part of the film is where he uses a gun to explode a man.
But Batman never kills people, remember?
It's just funnier that it's like he uses the gun not to shoot the man, but to shoot the giant explosive on the man's back.
Didn't kill him. Didn't use a gun. It's fine.
Technically, I shot the flamethrower.
Hey, whatever helps Bruce sleep at night.
I love that shot as well, where he just smashes some guy's head into a crate, and that guy scorpion kicks back, and you're like, he ain't getting up. He's dead. He's gone.
The weird thing is, right? I know we'll get back to the show proper. I promise, audience. The weird thing about Zack Snyder is that 300 is a messy film.
Yeah,
but it's good.
Yeah.
He makes his point and he makes it very aggressively and fine, but it's also it's fun to watch. It's a great film.
Yeah.
Watchmen is also messy. I don't love it, but I mean, adapting that book, which is one of my favorite comics, would be a nightmare for anybody, and he gets super close. And actually, it's not bad.
He's good when he's working with source material. I think Zack Snyder's really good at he's the cool guy. He's like, what's the coolest option right here? What's the visually the best option? He started on adverts, I believe.
He's Michael Bay, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's cool. That's what he does, and he's really good at that. But then if you give him too much creative leniency with creating something, he's talented. He's super talented in his filmography, and he loves the things he does.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to tell a wider story, he's like a broad brushstroke guy. He's not the detailed guy like Edgar Wright or Quentin Tarantino going so into detail
but
with
if
that
you
thing.
then look at Dawn of Justice as a concept, it has dream sequences that aren't real and also stuff that you go, this is like filmmaking 101, not a good movie. It's made some really poor choices throughout. Yeah, it's just
could have been done really well. All the things that he does, you're like, oh, I could see how that works if this happened and if this happened and if this happened. But it's very much lots of cool ideas all shoved into one film. You like Doomsday? You like Superman? You like that, don't you? You like Batman. Oh, yeah. You like Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. You're like, oh.
But then it led to Justice League, which is just a reprehensibly bad film in every possible way.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no redeeming features to that film. I don't know why it's so bad.
Fun.
I've tried it. It doesn't save it. It's still a fucking mess.
I enjoy them all. I have to say,
I really like. I've tried so hard to like Justice League, but I'm sorry, DC movies just suck. They just suck. There is no way around it.
I have to say, maybe this is my surprising fact about myself.
Go on.
I realized, as much as I love comics and all these things, and all the things that I love, all of it's incredibly stupid. Like an incredibly stupid waste of time, and thus it means that when I enjoy it now, I really enjoy it because I can go into these things and be like, oh my god, there's nothing I love more than this, and also, why am I wasting my time on this? This is so stupid, and I'm like, yay!
I mean, okay,
this is the thing I get to choose to waste my time on.
I vibe with that hugely, and here's a really fun one from my life that I really appreciate. You gave me an opportunity to share because I love it. I cried at Doctor Strange 2.
Right.
There's no sad scenes in it. There's there's nothing in it where you go, oh God, it's so sad, I'm about to cry. I cried because I loved it.
Oh, really?
I cried because I was so happy. And it was particularly, I can tell you when it was when he went, I'm gonna go inhabit a zombie body of myself and gets dragged to hell. And it's like, it's Sam Raimi's clearly there in the corner going, yes, everything I ever wanted. And it's the point when his zombie version gets himself a cape of demons, some shadows, and then flies over. He's like... It's the point when I went, this is a movie where a director's clearly gone, Marvel knows what I need to do, and Marvel told me what to do, but fuck them, this is just for me. And it was just so dumb. It was so a nice setup as well. And the setup from the beginning of having a dead body in that universe and all the rest of it, all of that setup, I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was fun, and I just loved how much fun they were all clearly having making that film, and also really how much fun it is for a fan to go, I love that you've taken... what I love about Doctor Strange in the first film touched on and then went right away from towards the end, which is that Doctor Strange comics are weird and not odd, oh, a little bit quirky. No, they are weird. What's the solution to this problem? Destroy 5 universes and fall. It's always true because Doctor Strange came out of 60s and 70s psychedelia, came out of this what weird shit can we put into comics? Doctor Strange's on the forefront of that, and this one got close to that forefront weirdness. What can we throw in? What drug-induced haze can we use as a starting point? You know?
It told a human story.
Yeah,
I genuinely cried.
One was super relatable. Yeah.
Well, actually, because. It wasn't then I cried. I cried when they're beating everything, and it's just him and Dr.
Wong.
No, Palmer. Dr. Palmer.
Oh yeah.
And look at me calling up a Dr. Palmer.
What were you gonna say, Christine?
Christine.
Oh yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent. Can we just take a second? I appreciate you, Benedict. You're a wonderful actor. You work so hard, but Christine. And it's like Alan Rickman on holiday. It's just weird.
He is very Alan Rickman.
He tries his best. Bless him. It's really hard.
I genuinely cried at that bit where he's like, I love you in every universe. And the problem is I'm scared. And I just thought, I literally, because that's how they beat Wanda with love. And I was just like, this is such a good film because it sets up right at the beginning. He's lying,
Of course, he's lying.
And I was like, this is great. All of this is just wonderful because we've got all this stupid shit, but in the middle, you're actually telling a story about a man discovering himself and a woman who's the villain going through the same journey but doing it badly. And that's the point of movies is when you've got your villain and your hero, have them go through the same thing.
You've got to have relatable villains. Absolutely. Yeah, no question.
And I know people
believe that what they're doing is right. They've got to believe what they're doing is correct. Otherwise,
I was 100% on board with Wanda being like, I'm getting my kids back. I was like, no, this isn't. I know people say like, "Oh, it's a crazy woman thing." I was like, "Nah, man, I'd be with her. I'm right there with her. Give
She's
me my
relatable
kids
from the
back.
start. She's
Give me
relatable
my
from the
kids
start. I
back.
thought so too. Yeah.
Goddamn, like crazy ass universe. I just want my kids back." I was like, "Fuck yeah." But I'd tear the world open for my kids back. Do you know what I mean? Like,
she's railing against the universe, which means she's railing against the writers. That's also a lovely little subtle undercurrent there of, you showed me my children, then said you can never have them. Like, there's a certain amount of fuck you in that, which is really appreciable. And that scene, I thought it was good, but you know what? I had moments during that film where my neurotic, sciencey brain kicked in and would not let me enjoy it. Oh, I love you in every universe. No, you don't.
That's not how it works.
Not how it works.
In every universe.
Sinister Strange going, every universe I went to, all I found was versions of me that was sad. Then you weren't looking hard enough, you fucking idiot. It's got to be every possible... If multiverses work on the basis of every possible dialectic spinning out from them, which is the whole point, every possibility happens, then there are universes where Stephen is happy. That's just a thing, okay? Yeah. I'm sorry it's not Hollywood. I'm sorry it's not like a good story, but that is just factually accurate, and it throws me out of moments like that when I go, you've committed wholesale to the bit and then gone, no, there's not that last bit.
I remember, again, probably last tangent we should probably have, but I remember either reading or talking to a friend and being like, isn't the idea that in the DC universe that there has to be a Batman in every universe?
Yeah,
it's a constant, and I was like, "That's amazing!" like
it's impossible. It doesn't make sense.
Where Batman doesn't exist. I was like,
"That's the whole point of
that's fantastic."
That's the whole point of the whole arc of the one where the Batman who laughs comes in, because there's a Batman in every universe.
Mental.
That's right.
Mental.
Yeah,
Dark Knight's mental. That's what it should have been.
I mean, it was. Okay, audience,
mental, man.
If you're still here, what we've touched on is, when I asked Naail what something interesting was that he's interested in that isn't D&D related, he said comics, and I went, me too, and then we started talking about comics. I'll bring it back to D&D, because you'll appreciate it.
I don't think it surprised anyone.
Nah. I'll bring it back to D&D. You know the front cover of All-Star, where he's sat on a cloud just gazing back at people while Metropolis is underneath him? Yeah, that one. Just really casual, really chill, just like, this is my day. There's a scene in Baldur's Gate Framed, which is still Adventures Wanted, but it's still part of our story because Viorica's in it. When Viorica dies for the first time and meets this god Lathander. Lathander I describe as being perched on a cloud, and I very purposely tried to recreate that image with description, because that's kind of the vision I have for quite a lot of the gods in D&D.
It's just very much like...
Yeah, they're just kind of there because they can't directly impact. They can see everything. So on a certain level, they're going to be that kind of person who is kind of chill with it, because there's no impact point. There's no way that a god can go, I can send people, I can tell people, but in the end, I can't save the kid jumping off the building. And exactly. And that's a really important distinction. Like, there's no spoilers in here, but in Myth Draenor, we're clearly building up to potentially god encounters, because, Nezril wants to use the Mythal combination to kick Corellin in the teeth.
God, this isn't gonna go well.
Okay. Since we're both here, and since we're talking about D&D now, and we're sort of on topic, but we'll come back to challenge rooms later. What are you feeling about the show? Don't forget, we're sort of a couple weeks ahead in terms of recording and in terms of release. Like, I think people have just watched the scene where Ava, the bomb where Ava, just before you got into the story, before you got to the shield, where Ava revealed backstory.
I mean, first of all, I love this game. I think every time we finish, that's what I always say. This is like my favorite game we've played. It's probably one of my favorite games I've played in. Definitely. I love this character. I love all the characters that we're playing with. And without spoiling anything, I think, with context of what you're talking about and where we're at, this is like the most character-driven and against one another PvP games I've ever played, where where consequences really do exist, and that everybody is kind of walking on eggshells, and there's that really high stakes all the time, emotionally as well as like to the mission. But it seems to be mainly emotionally based stakes at all times, which is really nice when you're playing these characters because you know what you're doing instantly at all times. And in terms of like where that's going to go, I've tried not to. I think me and Rebecca had a little chat after last session's recording, just because I don't know if Rebecca told you what I sent to her.
No, but we can't talk about it on the internet because we're a couple recording sessions ahead. And
no, of course,
yeah.
But there's a lot of stuff that Anton has to do, and I'm really excited to get to do it. But also like there's no real guarantee. And I think that's kind of what's made all of this really scary and fun to play, because I think really early on in one of those episodes, oh no, it's coming later, but just things are ramping up and things are becoming dangerous and things are becoming, this isn't going to go the way you think it's going to go, to quote a great Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean. It's just been really fun.
A lot of the design of it and design of the adventure was based entirely around creating a series of MacGuffins, of things to do, places to go. Mr. itself is a MacGuffin in a way.
Yeah.
And actually it's all about 5 characters who don't get on and have really good reason for not getting on, and whose lives are going to be connected by this, and probably not in the best possible way. I remember when I cast you all, we were all talking about this and going, I think PvP is extremely likely. I think it's going to be a thing that happens, because I don't think these characters are going to get on. But I want that. I want that level of, we're in the middle of the world's most bizarre, absurd situation. You can see where my mind was going with this. And yet there's real moments of role-play storytelling between actors being told in a way that is absolutely like human and relatable and engaging, while in a city with another magic city crashed on top of it, like all of the material around the outside. I feel like I spent a lot of time designing the material around the outside, and when I've done the low-level work and now I've got to get the actors in the room and I've got to see what happens, because a lot of this will now be down to engagement. And so much I'm thinking about Nezaril's intentions and motivation. Having a party NPC is not done. It's not something you should do. But in this case, I purposely wanted someone who was there to just fan the flames a little bit. Just be a presence in there to make things slightly better, slightly worse, depending on the situation if required.
It is. It's really that as well. Like, it's been a really fun game, and like it's the best thing I've played. That's my thoughts and feelings about it. I really enjoy it, and yeah, I think it's one to watch. Everyone's got such like great stuff going on, and there's still so much to find out.
Yeah. Running. Well, we've recorded up to halfway point now, so we're getting there. But yeah, I love it. I'm very proud of it. I don't think I get worried about stuff like this, you see, because I don't think it's what you expect from going to watch a D&D stream. You know?
No,
it's not a party.
It's a real story. Yeah.
No. D&D streams have real stories. I don't want to make this like. I don't think it's higher. I don't think it's better. I think it's different.
No, but I mean, like usually, what I feel like you're going to say, if I'm right, is that everybody gets along. Usually, in D&D
usually
streams.
Everyone gets along. You're all pulling towards you're finding a goal that you all share, and then pulling together towards the shared goal. I don't know. I think there's nothing wrong with a shared goal and pulling towards it. If anything, it makes for easier engagement. I understand that. But with this, I didn't want to do that.
No.
And I'm seeing all of the role play is wonderful and crunchy, and there's so much going on, there's so much world stuff on top of it. But I totally get if there are audience members there going, I just wanted to watch some people have some silly fun, which this isn't.
It's not silly fun. Like it is. Real,
it's still very silly.
It's silly and it's fun, but my God, it's mainly like people making decisions that just so happen to kind of go in the same direction. And it is like, it feels because we talked about it, and everybody has a genuine reason for being where they are, and it's like, and some of those reasons are, well, you told me that I would get somewhere, and now you lied, so you better tell me why I should stay. And then they tell them why they should stay, and they go, okay, I guess I'm staying. And it's like, it's been really fulfilling in that sense. Like, it's not, we're all here to get together, we're all here to go do this mission. It's very much like, you fucking tell me why. Tell me, keep me. You know what I mean? Like, woo me. And it's been real toy, but we got through it.
I'm not going to lie, Nezril is an NPC, but is absolutely the kind of character I would play in a game like this. Absolutely sly. I mean, Nezril is so fucking conniving, and I love the whole like, no, I'm old. No, it's just wonderful. Like, it's a wonderful shield. Beautiful. Being old and having, frankly, fantasy Alzheimer's is a really good shield. But I also find that I have to spend a lot of time going, I've got fantasy Alzheimer's. I have to be really careful about what I do take in and what I don't take in, because I do not want to give this person godlike ability to, I'm not really, and then also be able to leap back in and be completely with it. Like, there are times where I've said to myself, Nezril's currently in a state of mind where they're not 100% sure what their name is, but they have to have this really important conversation, and then trying to do that and be fair and be honest about how that would be. There's a point in an episode coming up where I very definitely have, like, Nezril is literally pulling everything they can out of their ass because they know they're fucked, but they don't really know why. Their brain's not there.
It's been like a super fun. There's so many cool things to come as well. Like knowing what we've played and being. I remember last session specifically. I think I said this after we recorded, but like the game just changed. Like instantly, the game just flipped everything on its head, and we were all like, okay. Cool,
There's a line that Anton says that absolutely gear shifts the entire campaign. It's amazing. It's like, amazing. You're such an asshole. You're such an asshole. It's amazing. And when you then said afterwards that it was premeditated, I'm surprised they didn't kick your ass.
Well, I think my joy has been from Sea of Swords. And from playing him as a young boy, which you got to see, he does mean the best, and being able to figure out, in Sea of Swords that you are this clone, and then losing your mind to a Mythlar, and just being, not really being yourself, and not knowing who you are. But still at the core trying to be this person that is helping people, and that's the goal, is to help people, and then being like in Sea of Swords, being put up against P, who is less questionable in their efforts. Like P's got a really simple way of being good. At all times, you just do P. Do you know what I mean? Like, do the things that you're meant to do.
Exactly.
And Anton would question that and be a bit more questionable, I guess, in trying to do things. Whereas now Anton's become the least questionable in a group of very
Wait till they see the recordings of what you did. What you did.
But then being able to go back and go, no.
That was the right choice.
He's just as bad. He's just as bad, and he's just as questionable.
Em was saying, like, why do they all hate P so much? Well, they don't. They don't hate P at all. What they don't like is that P has a simple, clear view on morality. P walks through the world with eyes open and does what's best for everyone, because that's P's charm and P's joy, is that P always knows what the right thing to do is and doesn't question.
Shantae, baby.
Exactly. It's all about community. It's all about people. And does that sometimes lead to difficult ethical choices? Yeah, but P brings us through them.
Yeah, for P it's very easy.
And of course, a room full of narky characters who all like to be a bit barbed and a bit pushy, which is what we've got here, apart from Nate. Nate's not like that at all.
But Nate's been making some questionable ass decisions.
We'll come back to that. People haven't seen it yet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, when Anton's becoming the most, like, morally sound, that's when I was worried.
Emma's like, why do you hate P so much? But they don't hate P. They hate the idea that someone can walk into a room and know exactly what to do, because they will spend their lives in argument and indecision because they don't have that moral compass.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
It's certainly being selfless is very hard, and I think P's one of the best people for it, because that's what P does.
Yeah.
And when you're put in front of that and you think you know better, that's the key to it, isn't it? Is all these other characters genuinely think they know better. And
these 5 are the worst for condescending, telling you what you should do. The irony of it is that they all point the finger at each other and say, stop telling me what to do, when all they do is tell other people what to do.
Yeah. Well, I know I was speaking to a specifically character.
No, that's not me. That's not me describing Ava. That is literally something that you and that Anton and Nate and Ildrathni have all done. They've all gone, there's someone who likes to tell people what to think. You should think this. And you're like, what? It's the worst. And then just literally in the next breath, just tell them what they should think. And you go, you've not learned a thing. You've not learned a thing. Right. I'm going to get the Warlock back to wrap things up, because that was a long...
Yeah.
But good. But worthy.
I can't help it. Once I get tangenting, I get tangenting.
Right. Let's dive back in and give the Warlock a chance to wrap things up. Where are you, Warlock? I've got to dig through and find you now. There you are. Oh, crap. Every time, Anton, you cannot let your... Did you hear what Naail was saying?
I'll be honest, I blanked out for quite a while.
All right, well, I don't have the privilege of that. I've listened to Chris Witter on and on about things they care about. Let me tell you, you do not want your higher being to talk forever. It's a problem. It's a problem, Anton.
Okay.
We have to go now because they rambled for so long.
So I get to go back to where I was before?
Yes.
But I won't remember any of this.
Yes.
Oh, well.
I hear it's lovely this time of year.
Well, thank you for giving me this chance. I didn't actually realise that I guess it'll be pointless now because I'm going to forget it all, but I feel like it was a little bit cathartic.
I tell you what, if you like, you could have in the back of your head that like you had a weird dream or something. Would that work for you? I can do weird dreams. I'm good at weird dreams.
Okay.
Yes.
I guess I'll take that if that's being offered.
Weird dream coming up. Splendid.
I don't have to give you anything for this, do I?
No, not at all. Just sign the visitor's book on your way out and we're good to go.
I'm going to read that visitor's book cover to cover, just so you know.
Never mind. Just takes this large tome and just okay.
It was a nice attempt, though. It was a nice attempt.
I've already got one. I would have built up to it. I would have had more time. Someone called Pip, who you've never met before, was foolish enough to sign a copy of his own book. Anyway, no, that wasn't enough time to build up. Chris waited for too long. I'm furious, by the way.
You seen it?
Anyway, this has been Talking as a Free Action. Anton, thank you so much for your time. You may go now and join us again when I kidnap someone else and try and get Chris to shut up.